This video will demonstrate an example of how to create and insert an OEM boot logo into the congatec embedded BIOS using the congatec system utility tool, CGUTIL. Congatec's embedded BIOS supports JPEG, GIF, and BMP images for OEM boot logos. It is recommended to use a JPEG image with the supported resolution of the used display device, especially when using LVDS flat panels. The size can easily be changed using the Microsoft Paint program and the resize button. Scale it to the resolution of the actual display device. Of course, you can utilize any other program as long as it supports JPEG, GIF, and BMP images. After the boot logo is saved, it can be implemented into a BIOS module via the congatec system utility. Select the board as operation target and press BIOS Module Modification. Make sure the logo does not exceed the available storage of the BIOS. Afterwards, you can create a module with the boot logo by pressing Create Module. Browse for your boot logo file and make sure that the module type is set to the BIOS boot logo from the Module Type drop-down list. Click on Create Module and choose a designated file name to create a modification file. When pressing Add Module, you are able to load your newly created modification file. Now, the BIOS boot logo module is visible in the list of the current modules. Additionally, you can now name the new OEM BIOS version. When pressing Apply, the changes will be saved into the onboard BIOS of the CPU module. Now, close the CGUTIL tool and restart the system. To display the OEM BIOS boot logo during post, enter the BIOS setup program by pressing the Delete button on the keyboard. Search for the boot menu and change the Quiet Boot setting to Enabled. You can also change the Setup Prompt Timeout to 5. This means that the boot logo will appear for 5 seconds. Save and exit the BIOS setup program. The system reboots and the logo appears. Now that we know that the boot logo is functioning, we can save it into a separate BIOS file. This file can be flashed onto chosen modules, so that they will also display the desired boot logo. In order to do this, you must start the CGUTIL tool again. Press Select Input BIOS File, and select the standard BIOS file of the module. When clicking on Create New BIOS File, you're now able to name and create a new version of this file. The operation target is now the BIOS file. Go to BIOS Module Modification and add the previously created modification file with the boot logo you want to implement. Name the OEM version and click on Apply. You have successfully created a BIOS file with your own boot logo.